Alright, another Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream, this time for Duelist Nexus, with of course more archetype support. This time for Yuki's Chimera Mythical Beasts, along with Ghost Girl's Altergeist. So let's begin. But first we're gonna start off with this card, Magicians of Bonds and Unity. It's a level 8 light spellcaster with 2500 attack and defense. It cannot be normal summon or set, must first be special summoned from hand just by having 25 or more cards in the graveyard, which is doable depending on some decks. And its only effect is double its original attack and defense while your opponent has 25 or more cards in the graveyard, which also depends on your opponent. This isn't really anything special, it's just a special card here. And now to Yugi's Mythical Beast archetype, we're gonna start off with Gazelle, the King of Mythical Claws. It's a level 4 Earth Beast monster with 1500 attack, 1200 defense. Each effect is hard once per turn, and its effect is, if this card is normal special summon, you can add one level 5 Fiend monster or one Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. Obvious 3-up is obvious because this is Consistency Searcher, which is more consistency with the second effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material, you can add one Illusionist type monster from your deck to your hand. That's a new type. We're not talking about the Illusionist archetype that Pegasus will be using. We're talking about a new type of monster. But anyway, that is going to be part of the archetype, and you basically use this for consistency purposes. Same goes for Baphomet, the Great Wings, which is a level 5 Dark Fiend with 1400 attack, 1800 defense. Each effect is hard once per turn. The first one is if this card is normal special summon, you can add one level 4 Beast monster or one Chimera Fusion from your deck to your hand. But you can have special summon monster from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except for fusions. It's just nice that this is an or because that just gives you 2 cards just to let you do your plays again. But anyway, second effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material, you can target one Illusionist type monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which will of course be helpful because that's going to be part of the archetype with more stuff. Obviously, you must run this. In which we go to Cornfield Quarter, which is a level 4 Wind Illusionist monster, 400 attack, 700 defense. This first effect is a hard once per turn where you can discard this card, add one monster that has Chimera Fusion in its text from your deck to your hand except itself. Your previous 2 cards have that. The second effect is that monsters cannot be destroyed by battle involving this card. Okay, this can be decent defense, especially when Baphomet can bring this back. But the third effect is also hard once per turn, where when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a card or cards you control while you control a Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard to negate that effect. If you do, destroy that card. This card fodder, search engine, also negate. Why not run 3 of these? Next we go to Mirror Swordman, which is level 4 Light Illusionist monster with 1900 attack, 300 defense. Its first effect is a hard once per turn, where a quick effect you contribute this card to special summon one monster that mentions Chimera Fusion from your deck except itself. Once again, Consistency Searcher card basically. But anyway, second effect, monsters cannot be destroyed by battle involving this card. Sure, you have that protection. But the third effect, which is also hard once per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field and you control Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard to negate that effect. So basically another card for Consistency Searcher and has also a negate in it. Okay. And now we go to the new Chimera, the Illusional Magical Beast, which is a level 8 Dark Illusionist fusion monster with 3100 attack, 2800 defense, requires one Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, and one or more Illusionist monster. So its first effect is that this card becomes Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast and is treated as a Phantom Beast card while on the field or in the graveyard. For archetype reasons, and also because there are going to be cards that require Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast. So it's just nice that it could be treated as that. But anyways, second effect. This card can make the same number of attacks during the battle phase up to the number of fusion materials that you use this card for fusion summon. It will be at least 2, and probably very likely 2, because you're going to be using Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast along with the one Illusionist monster. I really doubt you're going to be using the third one. But now to the third effect, monsters cannot be destroyed by battle involving this card. This is so this could battle a multiple monster once. But the fourth effect is that if this card battles an opponent's monster at the end of the damage step, change that monster's attack to 0 and negate its effect. That can actually be nasty, especially when this is 31k that could attack twice. It's a pretty cool boss monster, cannot be destroyed by battle, including your opponent, but also can negate your opponent's monster effect while also shrinking it down to 0. Pretty cool, but not really too interesting to me. Next, Chimera the Phantom Beast King, which is a level 6 Wind Beast Fusion with 2100 attack, 1800 defense, requires 1 Beast monster and 1 Fiend monster, and its effect is that this card becomes Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, along with being a Phantom Beast card. Already said the reason why, and basically the retrain of Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, so this is now your main first fusion summon. But anyway, to its main effects. The first one being, if this card is fusion summon, you can activate this effect. During the end phase of each turn, you can send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Okay, but the second effect is that during your opponent's turn quick effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 beast, fiend, or illusionist monster from your graveyard and special summon it. Each of its effects are hard once per turn. The only problem with this last effect is that it has to be during your opponent's turn, but at least that you can provide yourself with some protection, you can say. And the fact that this is basically going to be fusion material anyway doesn't entirely make this card too bad since it's going to be in the graveyard. It's just opponent's turn is kind of the questionable part. Now, making your opponent lose a card during the end phase of the turn is actually pretty nice. Finally, to the quick play main card itself, Chimera Fusion. So its first effect is that during the main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion materials, including a beast or fiend monster. Now this is a quick play, but anyway, second effect, which is a hard once per turn. During your main phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you have a Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, on your field or in the graveyard, you can activate one of these effects. Add this card back to your hand or banish this card. If you do, special summon 1 Gazelle and perform it from your deck and or graveyard. This is just 3-up by default because it is your fusion card, but it's nice to have this a second effect where you can either add this back to your hand or special summon back your pieces, which of course can make more plays, and because you're special summoning them, effects activate, which can basically get you your other pieces. Yeah, pretty cool here. And now to Ghost Girl's Altergeist. We're going to start off with Altergeist Malwhipped. Level 3 Light Spellcaster Tuner with 1500 attack, 0 defense, and both effects are hard once per turn. The first one is if this card is added to your hand, except by drawing, you can special summon it. Altergeist has searching, so this is doable. But the second effect is that this card is no more special summon, you can target 1 Altergeist monster from your graveyard, except itself, special summon in defense, but it cannot activate its effects during this turn, which basically will help you with your link plays. Why not run 3? Next, Altergeist Penetrator, level 1 Fire Spellcaster with 500 attack, 300 defense. The first effect is that it can attack your opponent directly. 500, what's the point of that basically? Even if it's for its second effect, which is hard once per turn, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you draw a card. I don't really see much of a point to this actually. But the third effect is where I do see a point, where if this card is sent to the graveyard from the field, you can send 1 Altergeist card from your hand, deck, or face up from the field to the graveyard except itself. This effect is hard once per turn, which is very helpful because Altergeist do have graveyard effects and also can recycle from the graveyard, so you do have usage of this for a combo. It's just the first 2 is just whatever. And now to a new Altergeist boss monster, Altergeist Adminia. It's a Link 4 Dark Spellcaster with 3000 attack, top, bottom, left, right, materials at least 2 Altergeist monsters, and each effect is hard once per turn. The first one is if this card's Link Summon, you can set 1 Altergeist trap directly from your deck, which is one of Altergeist's playstyle by the way. But anyway, second effect. Once while face up on the field, during the main phase quick effect, you can send 1 card you control to the graveyard, then target 1 effect monster your opponent controls, take control of it. If you do, it's treated as an Altergeist monster, which basically steals your opponent's monster for more Link plays. Yay! It's also nice that this is a quick effect, so that could actually get a little annoying. Overall, pretty cool new boss monster, probably not as good as some of the other ones, but this is usable. Finally, Altergeist Revitalization, which is normal trap, and you can only use 1 of these per turn. Its effect is, the first one, target 1 Altergeist Link monster from your graveyard, special summon it. Pretty good. And then the second one, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Immediately after this effect evolves, normal summon 1 Altergeist monster, which of course does make plays. This is a decent trap for a target for your monsters, so I would recommend running this as 1 or 2 up because as you've seen from the Link monster, you can set them from your deck. But overall, not too bad. So that's it for the new Mythical Beast and Altergeist support. What do you guys think of it? Mythical Beast, I'll have to say it's a cool concept to bring one of Yugi's old classic cards into an archetype. Not entirely my favorite one, but like usual, it's just cool to see. Altergeist, good to see more support for it. It desperately needs more support, especially a new Link 4 monster. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.